Do you know when it comes to hair ventilation, there are 9 ventilation methods? Yes, I said 9 ventilation methods, and I guess you really don't know that there are 9 ventilation methods. And each of these ventilation method has its own unique characteristics. And it is very important for you to know when and how to use this ventilation method if you want to achieve that realistic and natural looking scalp. And here in this video, I'll be teaching you on how and when to use this particular ventilation method. And we'll also be talking about its advantages and disadvantages. And if this video sounds like something you're interested in, make sure to watch this video to the end. So let's get right into the video. Nowadays, wig making has gone beyond just wearing wig. Now, wig making is also being used to imitate hair, especially for people that have alopecia and also people that have hair loss. Now, this wig making has helped in imitating hair. And when it comes to hair ventilation, like I said, there are 9 methods. And this 9 method includes 1. V-looped hair, the normal injected hair, lift injected hair, single knotting, double knotting, single split knotting, double split knotting, single silk tops, and the 9th one, which is the double silk tops. But the 4 commonly used or traditionally used ventilation methods includes, and that is the one which is common, which we all make use of, like it is so common. And these 4 commonly used ventilation patterns includes 1, the single knotting, 2, the double knotting, 3, single split knotting, and the 4th one, which is the double split knotting. Now, when it comes to hair ventilation, each of this ventilation method or knotting technique has its own unique characteristics, and it is a vital thing to know when and how to use this ventilation method. If you want to achieve either a fuller look, a realistic scalp, hairline, a particular hairline, or you want to imitate a particular hairstyle, it is important to know which of these ventilation methods to use. We knew about the advantages and disadvantages of this knot. So we'll start with the single knotting. Yeah, single means once, and knotting, which means to tie. Single knotting just involves taking your strands of hair, probably 2 to 3 strands, based on the number of hair strands. So it involves taking the hair strands with your ventilation pin and knotting it just once. You pass it through the net and you knot it just once. Very common knotting technique. Almost everyone, let me just say everyone makes use of these techniques. Even when you want to learn hair ventilation, you usually start with these ventilation techniques. Pro advantages of single split knot. Number 1, it is beginner friendly. Yes, it is so easy to learn and understand. When you want to learn hair ventilation, you can pick up this technique and you learn it very fast. And number 2, it saves energy and time. With single knotting, you could ventilate a 5x5 closure just in one day if you're a professional. Number 3, single knotting gives you this realistic and scalp effect. Nowadays, we always want to make a closure that imitates the scalp. So you can single knotting can give you that scalp effect. So when you make use of single knotting, usually for the hairline, it could help to imitate the scalp. So it gives you this natural looking closure, and really no one is gonna know that is the closure when you make use of the single knotting. So you can see the knots are so tiny and they are looking so realistic, as you can see. And this is going to give you a scalp effect. And here is a closure I made, making use of a single knotting, and you can see it is so realistic. And when it comes to ventilation, it's important that you know the ventilation method and also the ventilation pattern. And I've also dropped a video on the ventilation pattern to use if you want to achieve a realistic or scalp looking effect. So you could go check out the link in my description box. So let's move to the 4th advantage. The 4th is it can easily be styled. Yes, when you make use of single knotting, you usually don't really have to go with your hot comb to kind of like press the closure. Especially, it doesn't give this bulky effect. when you make use of a single knotting effect. If you look at some closure, it usually gives this bulky effect. Most times you just have to go in with your hot comb or probably your wax stick to like lay it flat. But when you make use of single knotting, you can easily style it. You don't really need a hot comb. You could just go in with your wax stick and your take comb to do that. So those are the advantages of single knotting. And we know whatever has advantage definitely has disadvantages. Now let's go to the advantages of single knotting. Number one, single knotting is not strong and durable. Yes, because it is just being knot once, it doesn't make it strong and durable. It can easily pull out. Number two, it must undergo vigorous bleaching, or it cannot easily be bleached. It is not that, no, get me wrong. Yes, you can bleach a single knot. Bleach is being excessive, or you bleached it too much, the hair tends to pull out. Number three, single knotting cannot undergo vigorous heat. Now, those are the disadvantages of single knotting. So let's go to the next one, which is the double knotting. From the word double, this involves tying or knotting your strands of hair 2 times. So this is just like the single knotting, but this one is like tying it or knotting it twice. So let's start with the advantage of double knotting. Number one, from the word double, definitely when you knot something 2 times, it is usually strong. So number one advantage is double knot is strong and durable. Yes, it is strong and durable. It does not easily pull off because this has been knot twice. Second one is, yes, double knot can easily be bleached. It can undergo vigorous bleaching because it has been knotted twice. If you vigorously bleach a closure with double knotting, yes, it will not easily pull off. And the third one, double knots can undergo vigorous heat. But yes, we've talked about the advantages. Let's move to the disadvantages of double knots. Number one, double knots does not give a realistic scalp effect as compared to single knotting because the knots are big, so it doesn't gives you this scalp effect. Unlike single knotting that gives you this perfect scalp effect, but a double knotting does not give a perfect scalp effect. Number two, another thing is number two. Double knots cannot easily be styled. Yes, it gives this bulky look when you are. It gives you this bulky look as compared to single knots. It cannot easily be styled because when you try to part the hair in one direction, you see that the knotting or the tip of the hair is a little bit bulky. And nowadays we all want our closure to sit so flat, something so flat that imitates a head cap or a hairline. These are the disadvantages and advantages of double knotting. You can use each of these methods based on what you want to achieve. So let's move to the third one, which is the single split knotting. Now, this single split knotting is the word you're just trying to tie it once from the word single. But in this knotting system, we are only tying just one part. So let's move to the advantages of this single split knotting. Talk about single split knotting. This knot from the word single, which just means once, and you are tying something, and the word split means to separate. When you come to single split knotting, unlike single knotting, this is quite different. You are trying to tie once, but this time around you are just tying one end of the hair. Unlike single knotting, which you're tying just the two end of the hair. So let's move to the advantages. Okay, why is single knotting better? Why should I use single knotting? What is the usefulness? So let's start with that. Let's start with number one, single knotting. Single knotting gives you a fuller look compared to double knotting. Yes, because you're just tying only one part of the hair, and of that particular hair is moving. They are moving in different direction. So when they tend to move in different direction, they tend to give you a more fuller look. So if you want a fuller looking closure, you could go on ahead with single split knotting. So, and the second advantage is that it also gives you a realistic scalp effect. Yes, it gives a very realistic scalp effect, just like single knotting. So you could also use a a single knotting technique, if you want to achieve a scalp effect, or if you want your closure to lay so flat, you could also use a single split knotting. Those are the advantages of single split knotting. So let's go over to the disadvantage or cons of single split knot. Number one, single split knotting cannot easily be styled. Yes, you usually, why I said so is these hairs are going in different directions, so you need probably a hot, when you try to part the hair, some other strands of the hair is still going in this direction because they've gone in different direction. So most times you need a hot comb or probably a wax stick to help lay them flat or help lay them in just one direction. The second one is single split knotting can easily pull out. Yes, this one pulls up faster compared to single knotting, because the hairs are, you just tied one part of the hair. So when you're trying to comb or trying to bleach, if you try to pull on that part, that one can easily pull the other, you can easily draw the other part of the hair, so it can easily pull off. It is not strong and durable. That is the third disadvantage. Yes, a single split knotting is not strong and durable. So these are the disadvantages of single split knotting. And also the fourth one is a single split knotting cannot really undergo vigorous heating process, because this could damage the closure. Yes, to add to it, a single split knotting goes in different directions, so that makes it difficult to style them. So they just move in different directions. It's not like they have one particular direction it is going. So if you're using a particular method or pattern with this method, most times this hair goes in different direction. So you can see some is going north, some is going west, and others are going probably east or south. So this method goes in different direction. But I also love this single split knotting. Yeah, it gives a scalp effect. You could also go ahead to make use of a scalp effect. So let's move to the next one, which is the double split knotting. I really love this knotting. When it comes to knotting, you see, double split knotting and single knotting are my best technique. Yes, double split knotting, just like single knotting, is one of the commonly used technique. In fact, professionals, that is air ventilators, make use of this method. It is common, and I would say this is like one of the best method for me. In my own opinion, it is one of the best methods. So double split knotting is just like a single split knotting, but this time around you're going to knot twice. So you take one end point of the hair, you knot, and you take the other end point and knot. So this time around, you are giving it a double knot, that is, you are knotting it twice. So let's go to the advantages of double split knotting. Number one, it gives a fuller look. Yes, it gives you this fuller looking closure. If you want a fuller looking closure, advise you go for double split knotting. Your close, when you knot or when you make use of this knotting technique, your closure is going to look so full, because the hairs are literally going in different directions. Number two, it is strong and durable. Yes, it is very strong. Yes, because it's very strong. Yes, because you've not it twice. So that makes it strong. The third one is it can easily be bleached. It can undergo vigorous bleaching because it is already knotted twice. So that makes it stronger. The fourth one is it can also undergo vigorous heating process. Yes, double split knotting can undergo different or vigorous heating process. The next advantage is it, yes, double split knotting gives you a naturally looking scalp. Yes, it does give you a naturally looking scalp. Yes, even because the word double doesn't make it not give you a natural looking scalp. Unlike double knotting, which we said doesn't give a natural looking scalp. But when it comes to double split knotting technique, it gives you this naturally looking scalp. Why? Because you are knotting the hair ends in different direction. It's not like you're taking the both end point of the hair and knotting it twice at the same time. No. In this split or knotting technique, you're taking one strand, one end point of the hair, you knot once, you take the other part and knot. So that makes it different end point that is being knotted. So if you want to have a scalp effect closure, you want to imitate a scalp effect closure, you could make use of this knotting system. The next advantage is that yes, it can easily be styled as compared to single split knotting. Double split knotting can easily be styled, yet it is very responsive to styling demands. So if you want to style it in a thick cut, yes, you can easily style it. And if you notice, if you watch other hair ventilators, they usually make use of this technique. For me, this is one of the best technique. This is even the best technique as due to the advantages which I have stated. It is the best technique. So now I've mentioned the advantages, and don't forget, whatever advantage also has disadvantages. But it is just important that the disadvantages are not more than the advantages. So let's look at what the disadvantages of double split knotting hair technique looks like. Number one, it is time consuming. Double split knotting, it is time consuming. Yes, it is one of the best technique, but it is also time consuming. If you're a beginner, I usually don't advise this method if you want to be fast. But if you know it is your closure and you want to spend time on this, yes, you could go with this knotting technique, as this is the best and commonly used knotting technique. So it is time consuming, which is number one. It is not beginner friendly. Like if you're a beginner, it's not like you cannot learn this technique. Oh, yes, you can learn it, but it is not easy to learn. Like you can look at it, the person is just taking it this way, going that way, and no, it is not beginner friendly. Like you have to, it takes time to master. Yes, it takes time, a whole lot of time to master. So for me, those are just the disadvantages of it. So you can see why it is the best technique. Most of these advantages of the single knotting, the double knotting, the single split knotting are the advantages of double split knotting. So if you know you want, in summary, if you know you want to achieve a fuller look, a naturally looking scalp effect, something you could easily bleach, something that is responsive to demand styling, something that undergoes vigorous eating process, guys, go for double split knotting. Check out my channels. Most of the video tutorials which I have uploaded, I made use of single knotting technique. Come to the end of this video, and now you know the advantages and the disadvantages of ventilation knotting technique. You know when and how to use them. So, and I'm very sure now you're done watching, or if you've watched this video to the end, I'm very sure you've upped your ventilation game. And also, yes, and you've also been wondering, you see some hair ventilators, they either moisturize the hair before they ventilate it. They dip either in water, they have moisturizer to it, or they dip in warm water. Yes, it is also important to actually moisturize your hair before ventilating. Because why is that? A dried hair cannot when you ventilate with a dry hair, it easily pull out, or the knots are not strong, unlike when the hair is being moisturized or it is a bit wet. When it's moisturized or wet, the knots are more stronger. When you tend to knot it, it is knotted well. Like the knotting technique or its knotting system is very, very strong. So most times I usually advise you either moisturize the hair strand, mostly if you're going in with an attachment. For me, if I'm trying to ventilate with attachment for a braided wig, I mostly apply hair cream to it, because this makes it easier for me to knot, unlike a dried hair. And if you watch this video to the end, guys, you're the realest, and love you. That one.